Hello, everybody. I haven't been live since all this shit went on with Oscar Valdez, so I figured we'd take the time to talk about it today since it is his fight week. I've seen people say that they're not going to be watching this. There's people that even have a hashtag going on talking about boycott Top Rank, boycott Oscar Valdez, and boycott ESPN. And while I haven't seen that many of them, I still feel like I can understand why people are going to have those feelings after the positive banned substance report or whatever. And that one really hurt me because I really liked Oscar Valdez. Like, I think a lot of us liked him, and I think that's why a lot of people have some sort of like denial going on right now about him popping positive for PEDs because we liked him so much and he was such a likable guy. And I think he's still a likable guy. So I think that's why a lot of people are having mm, just denial and maybe just kind of dismissing it because he is such a likable guy, right? And I think at first, when Mike Coppinger actually, pointed out that he had tested positive for the banned substance, um, that seemed like the first ones that he mentioned. Which, well, he actually didn't mention what substance it was, as you read on the tweet. It says it's just a diuretic. I don't know how do you pronounce that. Hi, Jesus. Um, a lot of people assume that it was actually something worse because well, not enough because I haven't talked about it, Jesus. So no, I mean, if you don't have to be here, no offense. I haven't talked about it, so I'm gonna talk about it. You don't have to be here if you don't like to. I understand if everybody's already tired about this talk. I understand. I haven't talked about it though, and I haven't really seen much of other people outside of Twitter talking about it, so that's why I came and talk about it here. No need to be here if you don't like to. I totally understand if you're tired of that. I'm just talking about it because again, I have not been able to talk about it. And like I mentioned, when Mike Coppinger actually said, "Oh, my bad, wrong substance." I think this also helped with people who were like, see, that's not that bad of like at first they were like, "Oh, it was this," and then now it's something else. And I think because the second drug that he was positive for was something that is claimed to be for weight loss, then people said, "Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's okay." So I think that also made things a little bit more dismissive for Oscar Valdez. Like people were like, "Oh, it's not as bad as the first one," because the first one was more to mask other banned substances. The first, diuretics are supposed to be for flushing your system, peeing a lot, so that you get everything out of your system, right? It's basically a masking factor. Now, with this one, the second one that he said that, oh, it's actually this instead. That one's more for weight loss and energy, apparently, according to Conte. Though I'm not gonna really use him as a source simply because I don't trust him as a person. Just period. I know if there's anybody who knows about banned substances is going to be Victor Conte, but I just don't trust him. Like I don't like using him as a source because I don't trust him. And I agree. It's feeling torn about this. I understand why people are going to be torn about it. He's such a good guy, right? Everybody talks about he's a good guy. Though I do feel like he should have been stripped simply because the WBC should remain consistent. And we're not surprised. The WBC has never been consistent about jack shit, right? But with this, when you have someone like David Benavidez who got stripped because of a banned substance, which was just a recreational drug, it was the white powder that he got caught with. He wasn't even in camp and he didn't even have a fight. And he still got stripped of the title, right? And when you have something like that, and then you have Oscar Valdez who tested both positive for both A and B samples for a banned substance, for them to be like, well, actually, we're not going to go by the rules of VADA anymore. Now we're going to do WADA, whatever the fuck is called. It's inconsistent, and that's why a lot of people have problems with the situation itself, and especially because there was no suspension. His opponent wasn't even told up until September 1st, which was, I believe, the next day. And his opponent really had no say in this. So it's really hard to talk about because I know a lot of people do like him, and there's some people are gonna keep watching. Though, like I mentioned, I saw that Some people were just trying to boycott the whole thing. I saw some other people saying they had even forgot that Valdez was fighting up until that news came out of him, testing positive for a banned substance. What was really weird to me is that the WBC and VADA said, actually, okay, we're not going to punish him and nothing's going to happen. The fight can go on because, it's not a banned substance under, you know, under what do they call it? Like in competition, right? And then others said, like, but that's WADA's rule. That's not VADA. So they're like kind of grabbing here and there and not necessarily staying consistent. Um, and I think what was also weird is that they're not stripping him. They're not they're not suspending him, and they're tying the situation to the Canelo, right? We have all the Brit fighters like Sonny Edwards, UK fighters like Sonny Edwards claiming that the entire Canelo team is using banned substances, right? There's now all these jokes surfacing all over social media about how everybody in the Reynoso camp should be tested, how everybody in the Reynoso camp is suspicious, how Ryan Garcia's now mental health break is now feeling like he was cycling off of something. Andy Ruiz just suddenly lost all this weight, and now they're making it seem like it was because they are all on PEDs. And though that's unfair to Ryan and Ruiz, I agree with that because they are completely different fighters. Again, I understand why people are going to be making those assumptions because it's fucking the internet. Like the internet is gonna make those assumptions, and it sucks and it's not fair to them until they pop positive themselves, and we shouldn't really be making those assumptions. But I understand why people will be making those assumptions, right? About all of them based on now two fighters from the Canelo camp testing positive for PEDs. Some people are gonna include Julio Cesar Martinez, who also tested positive for clenbuterol, and then some people are gonna count Nettie, which I wouldn't count Nettie. Hi Jay Cooley, how are you? Just talking about Oscar Valdez. I wouldn't count Jay Cooley. I'm not counting you. I wouldn't count ¿cómo se llama? Luis Nettie, because Luis Nettie's clenbuterol shit was before he joined the Canelo team, right? Julio Cesar Martinez, he was with the Canelo team, but I don't think Eddie's his main trainer. He was training there and he did have the help of the Reynoso camp, but I don't think that's his main trainer. Unless he is, let me know because I don't think he is. Um, but again, it is unfair, but I can see why now fighters are going to be like, well, will you go get them tested like right before a fight, or can you actually go check it out what's going on? Because now it's two, three if you want to count Julio Cesar Martinez, and I personally don't count Nettie, but I know a lot of people are counting Nettie as well, right? Because it was just clenbuterol. And going back to um, hi Umberto, going back to them tying that up with everybody else in the Canelo camp, again with the inconsistencies, because Canelo, yes, he tested positive for clenbuterol, right? He tested positive for clenbuterol, and even though the findings proved that it was consistent with meat contamination, he was still banned. Like he was still suspended for, what was it, 6 months? So he was still suspended, and he was still, he still had consequences, right? Canelo had the consequences for testing positive for clenbuterol, regardless of it being consistent with meat contamination, and regardless of him taking the extra step and doing a hair follicle test, right? Because as we know, hair follicle tests go back up to 6 months. So if somebody was like cycling on and off on something, or they were taking it consistently enough for it would show up on their hair, right? If it was more of a larger dose that they were using something constantly, then it would come up on the hair follicle. And with Canelo, once he did the hair follicle test, it came back negative. I'm not saying that I'm defending Canelo or that I believe that it's so, but at least he went the extra mile to clear his name and do so by providing a hair follicle test. If Oscar Valdez wanted to, I feel like he could do that. I think the problem that a lot of people actually bring up as well is that all of this, it would be at the cost of a fighter, and a lot of fighters are not going to want to pay for this. In a perfect world, I would say, once you pop positive, you're going to have to not only be on probation, but also be, suspended a couple months. and then you can't come back unless you pay for either a hair follicle test or something that's going to, prove that you are no longer using these same banned substances. Because that's what pissed me off about the whole Oscar Valdez and uh, PD shit, because they said, "Oh, well, it's he's on probation right now, and right now he's not going to get punished for having this banned substance, but if he gets caught with it again, the same substance, then he will be punished." And it's like, so it's not counted as a banned substance right now, but then if he takes it again, it does count. So I'm just like, how did they come up with this shit? It's really frustrating. And again, I can see why people are like, "Oh, whatever, it's just for losing weight." Um, and somebody tweeted, I forgot who tweeted it. I saw it on my timeline when somebody said that banned substances or popping positive for banned substances is soon going to be like missing weight, right? Like a lot of fighters miss weight, and these guys come and the opponent's like, "Cool, just pay me a little bit more money, and the fight can go on." And from what we see and how we see the reaction from uh governing bodies, from the commissions to Oscar Valdez, it seems like it is heading that way. It seems like it is heading that way for these fighters to just be able to be like, "Ah, fuck, I pop positive, but I'm just gonna pay a little extra so they can let the fight go on." And then the opponent's just gonna get a little bit more money. I don't know if that's gonna happen with Oscar Valdez's opponent this weekend. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce his name. I'm sorry, but I haven't heard anybody, any journalist, ask him anything. Anybody who has access to top ranks fighters, anybody who has access, period, in the boxing community. I have not heard anybody ask Valdez's opponents his thoughts on all this, because I'm pretty sure he wasn't in the conversation when they were asking should the fight go on. He was just like waiting for seeing what is going to happen. He has no say in any of this. And I find that to be ridiculous. And I do hope that at least he gets a little bit more money. I am annoyed as hell. Um, and I know Haney was the one commenting. Haney, Sonny Edwards, they were the ones commenting about the whole Canelo camp. We saw Caleb Plant go on his little rant with, I understand where he's coming from as someone who's like next to fight Canelo. Hi MVO. As he's ready to fight Canelo, he's gonna have concerns, right? Like, I can see why Caleb Plant would go on this run, because nobody wants to have a banned substance going against someone who has a banned substance, who tested positive for a or even if they didn't test it, for who's known for taking banned substances, right? Or has tested positive in the past. So I understand Caleb Plant, I really do, I get it. But with him, how he went about it, like, it was a little strange. Like, he was talking about Mexicans and shit, and I'm just like, like, you could have gone on this same rant without including modelos, without making like these stereotypes. Like, he really went for us there. He was really like, "Ya modelo drinking motherfuckers," like PED users. That was basically Caleb Plant. But can I blame him? Not really. I can't blame him for that, because they've been making us look bad. They have. Like, I'm sorry, but besides, oh, ooh, fight. Besides, NVL, by the way, want to come in, let me know. Miguel, if you guys want to come on, let me know. We'll turn this into a debate. No, but really, I don't. I just feel like, for the past I have pop positive. We have obviously Big Baby Miller, right? Big Baby Miller, he popped for fucking a whole CVS receipt list of PEDs. We saw Pascal, right? Pascal also tested positive for a bunch of shit. And then after that is just Canelo, Luis Neri, Julio Cesar Martinez. It's fucking Ray Vargas, right? Like, we have all these guys testing positive for like banned substances, and it's like it's mostly us. Like, it's us, and I hate it, but so for Caleb Plant to go on about it, for be like, "Oh, modelos," and he started like just saying stuff like that, like, it was like strange to me, like, I was like he could have made all those points. Caleb Plant could have gone and said all of that, how it's not right that, governing bodies and sanctioning bodies and commissions are not taking care of the problem properly, and how fighters are going to be scared, to be not scared, but just at a disadvantage, right? Without even knowing it, or sometimes they do know and the commission does nothing about it. But the way again he went about it, he straight up said like model. He was talking about modelos, which is obviously a very Mexican. It's just a Mexican beer, right? And we knew who he was talking about. Like we knew exactly who he was talking about. So that's a little that he went a little too far there. He went a little too far there. Let me see. So Matt says you can't say it's unfair, right? Andy mentioned dudes that work with Conti either way. Yeah, I think both of them, dude. Both of them. Because the people who oh yeah, you're right. Willie Monroe Jr. with Snack, he tested positive for PEDs. Billy Joe Saunders, I don't think he's with Snack, but he tested positive for PEDs. So that's why I said earlier in the live. I don't know if anybody was here yet, but that's why I mentioned that I don't include Victor Conte as any reliable source, nor would I take his word for shit because, yes, you would think the guy knows about this because he used to be the one. I just hate how casually he talks about it. He's like, well, yeah, I used to give my fighters this. It does this, and that. Like, sir, why are you saying that? Two, like, I just don't trust the dude. Like, I wouldn't use him as a source. I wouldn't try to push what he says, right? And I think he's generalizing the whole team again because two of the fighters have already popped positive, and then you can include Julio Cesar Martinez if you want. Um, I don't know though. I don't know. Don't compare Conte to Reynoso. No, well, what did Reynoso say? I don't think all Reynoso did was reply to Haney calling him a hater or something like that. But if I were Reynoso, like I would be in a difficult spot because that's two of my fighters, and again, you can say three who pop positive for something like that. That has to be like, yikes! Like I feel like he should understand why people are doing that, like why people are going to have those those concerns. And says contaminated Mexico is real. When yes, I mean I grew up in Mexico. I grew up in Mexico up until I was 7 years old, and I know that clenbuterol is a thing. Like it is a thing. It's a public health issue, right? I think where the problem comes in is when people say Canelo should have been eating organic. He shouldn't be just eating whatever meat he fucking finds, right? But that's another thing that kind of rubbed me off the wrong way with Plant's rant on Twitter is that he says, "You're telling me he goes to a random taco stand or a random meat stand? Like that is dead ass Mexican culture. That's Mexican culture in like that's it. We do go outside and eat random ass fucking taco stands. We do. That's our culture. Like we literally go to the street. There's no sinks. There's nowhere to wash your hands. You just go and you fucking eat those tacos. And those places usually are the best. Mexicans don't really go to like little restaurants to eat tacos. You go to the taco stand on the corner of your nearest street. Like, so I do understand how, let's say I was a millionaire and I had a personal chef and all of this, right? I would, of course, love to have food done by them and I would have access to better meat and better food options. But am I always gonna crave tacos that I want? Fuck yeah. Yes, I'm gonna fucking still eat tacos from the fucking calle because I like those tacos, right? However, it's still sus because Canelo is still responsible what goes in and out of his body, especially when he's in camp, right? So I can see, yeah. You're drinking Modelos right now? I was drinking them yesterday. I was drinking them yesterday. Modelo is really good. Modelo's good. Raul Mendoza says Valdez should have drank some Japanese tea if he needed to lose weight. My mom used to have one, and one time I drank that tea by accident because I thought it was chamomile tea. My tummy was hurting, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take this tea. Ended up being that Japanese like weight loss tea. I was like, oh my god, my stomach was hurting even more. If Mexican is people won't get yeah, I don't think but that's our culture. Like we go to the even here in the US, right? You don't really go to a restaurant to eat tacos. You go to the nearest taqueria truck, right? You go to the taco truck, you go to the taco stand. You get them in paper plates. You don't fucking get or wrapped in aluminum foil. You don't get them at a restaurant. It's very rare, right? So that I wish, somebody would have told him like, hey, like, by the way, yes, this happens, like maybe delete that. Like you could he could have gone around all over that rant. He could have had he could have been really proper in the way that he expresses himself and the way he talks about this concern about having to face fighters who have positive for banned substances without using like those stereotypes. That would have been great, right? That would have been great. And I feel like we saw how fucking angry Canelo got when BJ Saunders told him about the Mexican meat, right? Like he got angry. Like we saw Canelo be like, okay, like so imagine now. Imagine Canelo, the beating he's gonna try to put on Caleb Plant after seeing those tweets, after seeing that he's calling him a cheater and that he's basically implying that everybody in his camp is a cheater. All I'm saying is that I cannot wait for the press conferences. Canelo and Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, we know, is a shit talker, so I can't wait for that. And I can't wait for Canelo to see what he's gonna tell him. Just payday, payday. Like I'm gonna fuck you up right now. Like it's gonna be funny. Like I can't wait. Hopefully next month we start getting the press conferences, and I want to see them. Like I cannot wait to see how the interactions are going to be in person and how what the dynamic is going to be between both of these fighters. I can't wait to see it, honestly. We always hate on the I'm gonna keep it short because I don't want to go there, but I think it has a lot to do with Mexican people and Latinos in general also being racist. Like it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. And I know with boxing there's trash talk, but I hate when people include like racist slurs or racist stereotypes to trash talk. Like just talk shit. Right, just talk shit. You could talk shit, you could say whatever you want, but when they include like racist shit, then it's like, why you gotta do all that? Right? Look at fucking Joshua. Didn't he tell Miller that he pays his mom's rent? Like that's funny, right? Like that's fucking hilarious. He didn't have to say anything about him, anything racist. So I don't know. I just wish that people stopped with all that shit in both ways. Caleb's from Tennessee, doesn't understand people. Yeah, yeah, yes, say what I want. I agree with you. I don't think there's many taquerias in Tennessee. Maybe we should take them one. Maybe we should like do a little blog with Caleb Plant, take him over to Tijuana and have him go to one of the fucking taquerias so he can, pa que sepa que es lo bueno, so he can see how we eat and so that he can see that these random vending on the street, those are the best ones. Chris, hi Chris. You think Killer Plan will be? Yes, I do. I do think he will. Yes, especially because this will be pay per view, so they're gonna try to sell that fight. And even if he didn't have to sell the fight, because any fight with Canelo, you don't have to try much on selling. But Caleb Plant is a trash talker. Caleb Plant talks shit to everybody, not only on social media. He does that in his press conferences as well. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna say to Canelo. And I'm excited to see how Canelo's going to respond. Like, I'm really fucking excited for these interactions. And with Eddie Reynoso, too, right? Because Eddie Reynoso has also kind of been claws out, ever since the Billy Joe Saunders situation. So honestly, I'm ready to be entertained both inside and outside of the ring. What about Floyd and his illegal IVs for Pacman fight? See, that's another thing that a lot of people use to be like, but what about them? I don't like doing whataboutisms. I don't do whataboutisms. Now with Floyd, it wasn't illegal in the way that a doctor prescribed it to him, if I'm not mistaken. Um, maybe again, these are all personal opinions. You can believe that Floyd took an illegal IV. You are more than welcome to believe that, but I don't know. I don't like when brought up in whataboutisms situations, right? What about this when we're mentioning one guy and then someone goes, well, what about this guy? Like fuck them both. like honestly, like a banned substance is a banned substance. Floyd never tested positive for anything. If Floyd had tested positive for something, then I could have been like, okay, well, yeah, let's bring him up in the conversation, right? But in his career, Floyd never tested positive for anything. So this whataboutism doesn't apply, but you can still believe that. You can most definitely, and you can have that belief that he cheated. That's fine. But I don't like whataboutisms. If we're talking about one guy popping positive, and then so, well, what about this guy? Okay, him too. Then I don't know. What about him? Like I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. I can't wait till Canelo F some dude. Está pasando. But it gets me excited, and I think everybody on Twitter and Instagram showed those same like sentiments where they're like, "Oof, dang!" Like he is digging his grave. He is like just preparing his deathbed. Like that's basically what Plant is doing. But a lot of people are giving Plant a chance against Canelo. There's some people who feel like he's gonna make a statement and beat Canelo, and whatever the outcome is, I want to see it. I have to agree with Chris. I think Canelo. I don't know about sleeps him, but I think he does get him to the body and makes his knees buckle. And like I think it's gonna be a late stoppage, in my opinion. I feel like that's what oh my god, you guys are fucking hilarious. I uh I love you guys are fucking hilarious. And yes, thank you that for explaining that too. They've never tasted positive. You can have personal opinions. You can have personal suspicions. You can say, "Oh, I bet Floyd was always, dirty. Oh, I bet Manny was always dirty. How can these guys dominate so easily?" Right? You can have those assumptions. That's up to you. But they never tested positive for anything, right? We're talking about the people who did, right? And it's just the like I mentioned, whataboutisms that don't really apply here, especially not when none of them tested positive. Um, See, and remember when was it Kovalev when he's like, "Why didn't knock out Pascal?" It was Pascal, right? Because he's like, "Because I wanted to punish him." I feel like Canelo's going to try to punish him, but still knock him out. Because remember Canelo with Billy Joe Saunders, he said that he would knock him out in the later rounds, right? That's what he said, and he did. That he did. He played around with him. Billy Joe Saunders did well, moving, making Canelo miss, but Canelo still got him. So we have seen people mention this in the chat, and I agree with them. I wish I remembered who said this, but they said that Caleb Plant has the style to be able to beat Canelo, but he lacks the skills to actually beat Canelo. So stylistically, he could prove to be a test for Canelo, especially in the early rounds. But skill wise, he has not much to offer, especially for someone with the resume like Canelo's, who has literally been there with all types of motherfuckers. Like, I don't see anything that I don't watch a Caleb Plant fan and be like, damn, he does that really well. Like he just does, he's a good fighter. He does little things, all things pretty well, right? He's a good box. He's a good fighter. He's a good boxer. He has a nice jab, but nothing that really makes you look at him and be like, man, like this guy. Oof, I'm nervous for the next guy he's gonna fight. I never gotten that from Caterpillar. 909 Goon says if you want to read about that, yes, 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 yes. Yes, he did. Just look up Dan Raphael, and I'm pretty sure he has something that he has on there. Plan will put my I'm gonna screen grab that because that is pretty that is pretty funny. Let's see. Even Miguel thought that was funny, even though he won't come in and talk on here. No, but I think I would like to see him against David Benavidez. Hopefully now after David Benavidez fights ¿cómo se llama? Uzcategui, right? He's gonna be the mandatory for the WBC. So hopefully Canelo can fight Benavidez once Benavidez is mandatory for the WBC. But because once Canelo beats Plants, he's gonna be undisputed. He might just drop all the belts and try to fight Biev or Bivol at 175, which is gonna be sus. I'm not gonna be mad at people who who start mentioning Canelo ducking Benavidez if Canelo becomes undisputed and drops the belt and goes up to 175, because I think that he should fight him. I think he should fight him, and I think this is the best time for Canelo to fight Benavidez because he's young and he still has flaws. I like your book. Oh, show you one. Anyone? I just have like Edgar Allan Poe and shit. I love Edgar Allan Poe. I did love when my cat. Yeah, I think that was like a freaking moment that it's going to live forever in our hearts. Even if you were a Pacquiao fan, which I am a Pacquiao fan, right? I love Marquez, but I was still a Pacquiao fan. We were all just quiet when that happened. Hi, Michael. How are you? Canelo about to beat him like he's doing something. Loving the hair. Thank you. It's a little greasy, but hey, it's hot. Like he stole something. That's fucking funny. I was gonna be like, oh my god, no, don't say that. That would be crazy. But I would love to see it. What about my kids drinking cereal? Was that illegal? No, I don't think that's illegal. I don't think that's illegal to drink your own pee. A lot of people in Mexico do that. When I saw that, it was like very like disturbing to me. And we saw how Manny Pacquiao reacted to Marquez drinking his own urine. Um, I was just like, huh? But I knew people in my ranch who did that. Like, there's some old ladies over there who did that. They would drink their own pee. They said that it's like basically all the nutrients that you peed out, you're basically taking them again, like recycling the nutrients, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but hey, I don't I don't think I would drink my own pee in any circumstance. I don't know. I no. I'm good. Plant, yeah, Plant. I think he lost a lot of fans for that because while you can still, think, oh well, he's gonna lose, you can still support him, right? You can still be happy for him because he's making a payday. You could be happy because of his background, like, oh, he used to be really poor and now he's not. He's not gonna be poor after the Canelo fight. You could be happy for him, but now when he mentioned all this, like, then it's like, oh, like, well, shit. Like, why are you making all these stereotypes, right? Brown says Plane's gonna look good for 3 rounds and that's it. I think so too, in the way that it's gonna take Canelo time to uh kind of get his rhythm going, especially because Plant has a reach advantage, height advantage, right? Like he's big, and I don't think he's just gonna like not do shit like the UK guys. I think he's actually gonna try to establish a plan in the way of at least jabbing his way to try to maintain his distance with Canelo trying to counterpunch him, right? I think that's what he's gonna be trying to do the most. Plan, right? Establishing his jab to maintain his distance to make Canelo not be as great at counterpunching. But I think eventually Canelo's gonna try to target the body, and I think he's gonna get him to the body. You heard it here first. Canelo not losing. Are you talking about Benavidez? Oh, why are you, Miguel? I thought you liked him. I'm not, and I never said he was gonna lose. I said that I would love to see that fight. Does There's 17 people in this chat. 17 people. I bet all of y'all would like to see Canelo versus Benavidez, right? Regardless of if he loses. Miguel, you are being rude. Benavidez will get Canelo a fight. I think because of his size and because Benavidez is not just going to sit back and just be like the UK guys. And, it's not like Benavidez just works off a jab. Benavidez has fast combinations. Benavidez has really nice pop behind his punches. The only thing I think that is going to be his downfall is that he leaves himself wide the fuck open. We've talked about this in previous lives where look at any Benavidez fight. He's coming forward, especially the one with Darrell. He's coming forward and he's just like robotic hand, and then like he's like just waiting with his hands down. He doesn't protect his body. He's just like he's very nonchalant in the ring, and you can say, oh, it's because he doesn't respect his opponent's power, which it's valid, but he can't be taking those liberties with Canelo because Canelo's gonna get him to the body. Canelo's definitely gonna punish Benavidez in the body, and because Benavidez is soft in the belly because he used to be a chonky kid, that's where it's gonna hurt. That's what's gonna hurt because when you're a chonky and then you lose weight, your belly's, even if you have a six pack or you end up getting, toned, your belly's always gonna be softer and that shit gonna hurt. But yeah. Have you guys seen all the iPhone upset tweet? No, I have not seen them. Oh my god, when did that happen? People really thinking that? I only seen a couple people. But they're like Tennessee people, so I feel they're like from that area, so I feel like that's why they do that. David has no body. Yeah, I think he just has really bad defense. Like I don't see him, but I do think that even that will be his downfall, right? Because Canelo's a counter puncher. Canelo is a natural counter puncher. So as Benavidez comes forward, because he is going to be a dog, Benavidez is going to be a fucking dog in there and try to establish his size and reach advantage, and he's going to try to bully Canelo. But in the process, Canelo's going to catch him and he's going to fold him like a chair. Not like, ugh, but like Chino Maidana with Americon type shit. But he's not gonna get him. And yes, Marquez drank his own pee. Should we look for the video? Let's look for the video. And then like he was getting roasted by Manny. He was getting roasted by Manny, and that shit was fucking hilarious. I'm gonna look it up. Let's see. Juan Manuel Marquez drinks his own pee. Is that how he's supposed drinks pee? Drinking urine. That's what came up. So I think that's okay. So let me share my screen so that we can all see it for the people who have not seen it yet. Let's do it. Uh uh there's a first time for everything. Let's see. La 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 la. See, there's the picture, but let's put it on. Oh.
En Mayweather, un estilo difícil, un estilo elusivo, un estilo de contragolpeador. Lo estamos entrenando, lo estamos practicando aquí en el gimnasio y espero el día de la pelea salga y vamos a hacer un buen trabajo.
When the training session ends, the gym empties quickly. And if Juan Manuel Marquez has shown himself to be a fighter who will go to any length to gain an edge, the conclusion of this day shows just how far.
Like, even if he does that, why would they record him doing that? Like, that's something you could have kept to yourself, G. You could have kept that shit to your damn self.
He drinks his own urine.
Yo creo que esto me ha servido, lo he hecho durante mis 5 o 6 peleas y me ha dado buenos resultados. También me tomo la orina porque de ahí también desechas proteínas, de ahí se desechan las.
So apparently for proteins and vitamins, that's where they go, and you just gotta recycle them. Plan never. He did. I see people on Twitter cat for him. Like I see people support him. I would. Ooh. But yeah, at least mix it with something, right? Like mix it with something else. Like do like this much of your PP and then fill the rest with like Bud Light. Same thing. It'll taste like the same thing. Actually, never mind. It will taste the same. Benavidez. Oh. Y'all are crazy. Canelo with school Benavidez. I think right now Canelo's at his prime, and I don't think anybody could beat him. But I do agree with Poncho that he is awesome. Benavidez is awesome, and he ain't scared of no smoke. He wanted to fight Charlo. Charlo never, sent him nothing. He wanted to fight Caleb Plant. I don't know why that didn't happen. I think why it didn't happen was because he was stripped the first time, and then he got stripped again. But I don't think Plant wanted to fight him. I don't think he would. I don't think Benavidez will stop Alvarez. I think his flaws, his lack of defense, would be the factor there. But I think he would give him the best fight. Honestly, I think he would give him the best fight at 168. He'd be like a live dog. Alexis says David was hard to hit in sparring. David Benavidez? Oh, well, I seen David Benavidez fight spar Bivol. I've seen that shit like 3-4 times. It was really good. That was really good sparring, but I'm not sure anybody else. Hey, I'm trying to be nice and use proper language that doesn't offend anybody. He was a chomky, okay? That's what I call people, chomky. Benavidez is gonna be a little bit. Bro, you need to stop with your hate, okay? I know he was dehydrated. Like that pee was yellow. Your pee should not be that yellow. If your pee looks that yellow, you should drink some water. Like drink a whole water bottle because you guys can't, I remember when I didn't know that. I didn't know that. When was this? No, I would not. I'm sorry. I would not. Thanks though. And yes, Yeah, you learned something today, Chris. Maybe it's something you might want to try. Maybe it's something you guys would want to try. But by the way, let's look at this. Does anybody know what's in the undercard for the Valdez fight? I have not even checked it out. Let's go to ESPN boxing schedule and see what's going on because I don't even know who the heck is in the undercard. Am I willing to sell my pee asking for a friend? Tell a friend, maybe, but probably not. Cause where would I put it? Probably in like a bottle or something. Like that girl who sold her bath water, right? Delphine something. She sold her bath water. Ugh. Okay, let's. Oh, also, I wanted to show you guys a video with Mike Coppinger that Mike Coppinger shared with Timothy Bradley, which kind of summarizes just to like let it go already and keep talking about the rest of the card. It kind of sums up how I feel about Valdez in the way that you can you feel kind of sad about it and that he should be he should take have consequences. So let me share my screen and just make this come up and put the volume up and put this as the beginning.
Knock him the hell out. That's what I hope. I hope for a miracle. If this fight goes on, if it doesn't change, I hope he get knocked out. Seriously. And I'm a fan of Oscar Valdez. I am. I'm hurt by this. I'm really hurt by this. You know, I went on national TV, on live TV, and said that this guy is now my hero after he defeated Burchell. I'm sick to my stomach about this situation. And I think that whether it's a team or not or whatever it is, nobody care about that. You test positive. So everybody can think whatever the heck they want to think. And I'm thinking that you're dirty, my friend. That's just it, you know. And that's it, man. I'm done. I'm done. Go move on. I'm done.
You know, I respect Conceição.
See, I have to agree with Tim in the way that you know you can believe that he's took this by accident, but people are allowed to be outraged. Regardless of the WBC and the commission not doing shit about it, people are allowed to fucking be annoyed about it, right? And hey, Tim has been retired for a while now, so leave him alone. Bradley always had a big ass head. He always had a big ass head. So, but still, like this is like this him saying that he wished Oscar gets stopped was a little too much, but I can see why he feels kind of let down. Like I'm pretty sure a lot of fans feel left down by Oscar Valdez. So let's see. Oh shit, Sonny Edwards is also fighting this Saturday. And he was the one talking all that shit um ¿cómo se llama? About Oscar. Okay, so it's a Friday fight? Ah, okay. So Oscar Valdez fights on Friday and then it's Sonny Edwards on Saturday. So Oscar Valdez versus Robson Conceição. I don't know how to pronounce it. And that's for his lightweight title, junior lightweight title, which again, in my opinion, it should have been stripped. He should have been stripped. Even if he would have been alive to continue to fight, he should have been stripped, in my opinion. We have Junto Nakatani versus Angel Costa. That's the one I want to see. And that's for Nakatani's WBO flyweight title. You guys remember Angel Acosta? He had some really good fights too. I'm looking forward to that one. We have Gabe Flores, who was originally supposed to be fighting at the Wilder Fury 3 undercard, and now is fighting on this one versus Luis Alberto Lopez for 10 rounds. Gabriel Flores has been looking pretty good in his come up. He actually stopped Jason Velez, who went the distance with both Ryan Garcia and Jojo Diaz. So I think, him stopping Velez kind of made a nice statement for himself, right? We have Sander Sayas, who is the newest thing out of Puerto Rico. He seems to have really nice skill. He has nice pop behind his punches, and same thing. Kind of the next looks like to be the next promising thing for Puerto Rico. And his opponent still says to be announced, and that's going to be for 6-round junior middleweights. And then we have Raymond Murataya also to be announced. 8 rounds. I believe that's the kindergarten guy. The guy who's a kindergarten teacher. He has he got a lot of kind of tension in the summer series that Top Rank did, the Tuesday and Thursday boxing fights, because he has he has a lot of he got a lot of attention because he's a kindergarten teacher. I believe that's him, and if that's not him, that's his brother. René Tellez, Hiron, and then Omar Aguilar are also going to be featured. And then we have the one in London, which is Sonny Edwards versus Jason Mama. I don't know that. And that's for Edwards' flyweight title. We have Caleb Johnson and Denzel Bentley, Ryan Gardner. I don't know those guys. I assume those guys are all on the other side of the pond. And I guess I might watch it. I there's nothing else. I mean, Triller has, the fight that was supposed to be with Oscar de la Hoya, and Oscar de la Hoya reported to have COVID, so he's not going to be fighting. And you got supposedly Evander Holyfield is stepping in. Last time I checked, some reporters were saying, including Jake Donovan. I haven't. That's my most reliable source. I have not seen anything else or looked for it really, but there were some people saying that um he was going to. I just saw that. There's some people saying that Holyfield would not get approved in time to actually make the substitution to face against the MMA guy. I don't know who the MMA guy is. Never heard of him. But I heard of Anderson Silva and Tito Ortiz. They're doing that again. See, I don't know shit about the UFC, but I know those. I know those two names have already fought each other. And then you got Devin Hay and Andy Vences versus Jonah Carroll. Andy Vences is the guy that was with Top Rank. I don't know if he's still with Top Rank, and he lost to Bell. And then Jonah Carroll is that guy that lost to Tevin Farmer, right? So that's gonna be on Triller. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that Triller card is still happening. I'm gonna have to look into that because I'm not sure if it's still happening. But it's really crazy how Triller just can't seem to catch a break because they were supposed to have their card with Teofimo Lopez, and he got COVID, and even though he was in like Italy the next day or something like that, and then they were trying to have it in Australia, and now they don't know if they're gonna have it here. No, now they are gonna have it here at the Hulu Theater, if I'm not mistaken, in New York. So now Triller was finally having, Oscar, this event with Oscar, getting people, here, familiarized with the Triller platform through Oscar here in LA, and then he claims he has COVID, and he was in a hospital. That video seemed kind of sad because he looked bad. He looked bad in the he looked bad in the video. Check the tortillas out from leave. He is retired. He can eat as many tortillas as he wants. Remember Triller signed Jim Blanc? I thought that was a lie though. I thought they said that was a lie because they can't afford him after like all the money they spent. It's like the Zone 2.0, when they're kind of trying to make it the big thing and hoping that everybody jumps aboard, and then that the retention is going to pay for everything else, right? I think that's what they're it seems like that's what they're doing, where they're like trying to get everybody to go on board with this new platform and hope that everybody jumps aboard so that every penny that they spent, that they invested, can kind of make up for itself in the future with the retention. And I don't know if that's gonna happen though. Combat Talk says, remember when Canelo's computer talk was going on and they blamed it on the meat? Well, I heard there's another illegal song that should have been the type of meat, and it wasn't. Oh, where did you hear that? I would love to see the article. My Twitter's down here. I would love for you to send me that article and the sources for that. That's intriguing. I would love to know more. I would love to know more, Combat Talk. I did talk about my take already. I did say that even though I don't believe that he did it on accident, I do believe that he was purposely taking this substance. I'm more pissed off about the fact that he wasn't stripped when he should have been. When you have guys like Benavidez testing for, uh, recreational substances that are banned, that their argument was, well, it's still a banned substance. Like if it's in the banned substance list, then you're gonna get caught and you're gonna get stripped. Oscar Valdez got caught with a banned substance that's on the list, regardless of what the fuck you want to claim it is, and he should still be suspended for months, how many months they want, and that he should be stripped of his belt. So I don't I don't I don't think it was unintentional, personally. But I'm not gonna sit here and like bash people that do. That do think that that's on them. I don't though. But yeah, send me that article. I've never heard that before. So if you could send it to my Twitter, that'd be pretty fucking cool. I do have an Instagram. It's Billy Ho Saunders, but I don't really I stopped posting it on here because I post mostly like personal stuff, like my life and stuff. So I don't think people really give a fuck about that. Like we're talking about boxing, so I don't know if anybody would care. But it's just my Twitter, my Instagram is just like my Twitter, but it's Billy Ho instead of like Billy Joe Saunders, but Billy Ho Saunders, just the same. Um, so also, oh, are you calling me a piggy? Um, so yeah, like that's what's gonna be going on this weekend. It sucks that Oscar came out and he's on, he has COVID. That Delta variant looks it's kind of sus. There's also all these talks about the vaccine, about fighters shouldn't be able to be forced to get the vaccine. And I get that sense. I get people saying they shouldn't be forced to, but then if you don't want to get vaccinated, then maybe you should, you don't have to right now when COVID is running rampant, but then you should not be able to participate, right? You shouldn't, because you're putting other people's lives at risk, right? So I don't understand when people are that outraged. Growing up in school, I always had to prove that I was vaccinated to go to class, to be enrolled, right? I played baseball and softball growing up, and I don't know how it worked with everybody else, but I would do it through recreational parks, right? Would go to a recreational park, sign up for baseball or softball, and we would have to bring our stuff. It's not just like give me your name and your address. Okay, here you go. Here's your uniform. It'd be like give us a physical, give us, your vaccination card. It's always been that way for a lot of sports. You don't just get to go and just like sign up and try out and be like, I tried out. That means I can do it. It's always been like you need a physical from your doctor, you need your vaccination card, you need to prove that you're up to date. So that's why I don't understand, like, like that whole like outrage. Like I don't think that should be something to be outraged about, especially when you see in the business aspect of it, right? Because everybody wants to make it into, well, boxing's a business. In the business aspect of it, look what happened with the Triller fight. I'm pretty sure Triller lost a lot of money when they had to reschedule the Cambosos versus Teofimo, because yeah, it was a week away, and that was in Miami, and they already had a venue, they already had everything booked, and all of a sudden, bam. Same with Wilder Fury, right? Same thing. You got these things that people are already spending money, already have stuff booked, and then they have to revamp everything just because of this, and of course, we know vaccinations don't mean you're not going to get the virus. It's just less of a chance of you getting the virus, and it's more protection for you if you do get it. You won't have that bad of a consequence from it. So I don't get that whole discourse of people are like, oh, like what's up with all this? Like that's not new. Maybe y'all didn't play sports, the people who believe that, but when you played sports and you were part of organizations, you had to submit your paperwork. I'll be honest, I didn't read it, bro. I don't talk badly, or I don't give opinions on boxing channels. I don't. But I will doubt that Dante's Boxing Nation is a valid source, my dude. Come on, we're better than that, okay? That's like if you're just like, oh, I heard Lily talk about it on one of their lives. Like I'm not. I could just fucking sit here and say random shit. I could sit here and say that Sonny Edwards is talking so much because he himself is on the juice. And then no, if someone from this live goes and tells somebody else, like I heard it on Lily's channel, they were talking about it on their channel. They would look at them and be like, "You need to get out of here. Don't do that. Don't do that." I love. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I don't get it. Yankees. I mean, I guess. I hope Canelo versus plans the new rate. Oh, I heard it was gonna be at the MGM, because yeah, I heard that there's gonna be like some sort of festival at the T-Mobile Arena that weekend. So I don't know. Wherever it is, I'm gonna be there. What's wrong with your bookshelf? Can you go more into detail on that question? go more into detail about what you mean by that because I don't get it. Dante, oh my god. See, I'm not gonna go there and like I don't like, to each their own. People like, that's why I like that boxing has so much type of content, right? Because you can get content from everybody and from whoever you want and whoever speaks better to you and to your liking. That's fine. But I wouldn't make such an accusation and then be like, well, I heard it on this like random YouTube channel with no sources. Like they just make those videos. Like I don't I don't think that's I don't think that's like proper thing to do. Like to go and be like, I heard all this on this channel. Like maybe if it was like an article or something like that. And even articles, they're not 100%. You gotta look about, with the article, does the journalist provide any further proof other than just their claims, right? If it's somebody's just their claims, then that's kind of something that you don't want to bring up in conversation when talking about it. See, I seen people say these things. I myself was like, now that it's suspicious. If Oscar Valdez got caught, then I don't think it was the first time he was doing something, But I think it's also stylistically, maybe Berchel was just not a good fight for Valdez, just stylistically, right? But at the same time, you know, I at the same time, I don't know if it would be any different. I don't even think Berchelt wants a rematch, honestly. I don't think Berchelt wants a rematch. I don't think he's mentioned anything. Berchelt has been on Instagram just posting like on vacation and shit. Like I don't think he's been doing any, like, has spoken out about anything, right? Like I don't think he said anything since then. He hasn't said anything about Valdez. Bolas azules. Who's Bolas azules? Can you tell me who that is? Blue balls says the same thing. Who's blue balls? I'd love to know. I would love to know. But yeah, like basically, let me see if I can share my screen on this one. It's just Berchet out and about, living his best life. Um, See, he posted this on 6 days ago with his little purse, whatever purse that is. I don't know about labels, but see, Victorian RF Sport. And let me see if anybody. I haven't actually checked the comments. No, just people saying hi, hearts, hello. Yeah, I don't think anybody said anything about. Oh no, there it is. El Valdez testeó positivo por una sustancia prohibida. Me pregunto si lo hizo eso en la pelea entre ambos. Mm. So somebody brought it up. Like not people are not really talking about it on his comments. It's just that one comment. And then we have this one with him and his boot thing. Some sort of lighthouse. And yeah, I don't think anybody's saying anything. They're just telling him like, oh, hello. That's basically, I don't see anybody saying anything to him about the Valdez situation, which is, I don't think, again, it would be that much of a difference. Valdez did vital for the Berchel fight and passed test, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt here. Yeah, but maybe then he had enough time to cycle. Because remember, this substance that he took, it's gone within 72 hours. So, it's just like 72 hours, that's a fast ass fucking window. That's fast, right? That he got really unlucky to get tested within those 72 hours after taking the banned substance. And then that's what kind of annoyed me when people are like, oh well, now he tested negative. And it's like, yeah, like 15 days later, because those sample A and B, I believe, were from like August 13 or something like that. So then they're like, oh, he took another one on August 20 something and it was negative. Well, yeah, that shit's only in your system for like 72 hours, 78 hours. So it's like, of course. Of course. Let's see. What does más callado mean? What does that mean? You guys have to Tell me what these bad words mean. Well, yeah, what is that? Who's that? Berchelt. Yeah, Berchelt. I think he was just power and size, especially for that division, right? A lot of other people say that he was dehydrated and shit. So many people are just pointing the finger at Berchelt being just dehydrated on that at that fight. I don't know what mascallado means. Chompiras? What does chompiras mean? Like, isn't that from Chespirito? La 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 la. All right, so that's it. We've been here for an hour already. I'm doing this every Monday if you haven't noticed. Every Monday I've been getting on here and talking live. I lost 100 on Berchet. Now yeah. See, I think I don't blame you for that one because I think most of us were like pro Berchelt in the way that we were scared for Valdez. I was scared for Valdez when that fight got announced. I was like, damn, like this. I'm scared for Valdez because Berchelt's gonna pop his head off. But then now it's just like, oh, like I don't know, and it's crazy because hello Tony. Yeah, I started at like 5:30. Usually every Monday it's gonna be 5:30. Every Monday 5:30 because that's when I'm finished with my job and I work from home right now. So I'm just gonna be here every Monday, and I'm trying to do one maybe like when there's a fight and I'm not there. I think I'm gonna do like a live watching party like we used to do it. Um, but there's not any big fights coming up that I want to stream. I'll probably do Joshua versus Usyk. That's this month. So let's talk about the ones this month before we go. This month we have a lot of cool fights, right? We have obviously the ones next week, but whatever. We have Joshua versus Usyk, which is kind of going under the radar. I don't see a lot of people talking about Usyk versus uh Joshua, Joshua versus Usyk. I think because people are kind of just waiting for the Wilder Fury one to be to for it to go on so that they can see what he's gonna do. Thank you, Brown. I do this for fun, but I appreciate y'all. I really do. Joshua stopping Usyk. I think so too, and it's gonna hurt my feelings because Usyk's probably one of my favorite fighters. But I do believe he's just too small. He's too small for the division. Joshua, yeah, I don't see anything going on. Maybe it's more on their side of the pond, right? Maybe there's more promotion and stuff like that and buzz over there in the other side of the pond, the UK area. Maybe that's where they're talking about it. But I personally have not seen jack shit about Joshua versus Usyk. The only thing I've seen is Joshua posing in one knee, like when Ruiz beat him. Like, why would you pose like that? Who was the photographer that was like, "Hey, pose in one knee"? Like, that's a joke waiting to happen. Like, you're setting yourself up. Why would he pose like that? Why would he pose in one knee? And I know he's trying to do like a superhero type of like he's trying to do like a superhero landing pose, right, with the knee and all. But that just looks just like when he got dropped by Ruiz and he took a knee. Like, I don't. Why would you do that? Why would you pose like that? Like that makes no fucking sense, right? Like that honestly that makes no sense. We also have Fulton versus Figueroa, and that's going to be a banger. That fight is going to be a banger, and I'm going to make a prediction video for that one. I'm going to be watching tape and I'm going to do a prediction video because that's going to be a tough one. Because yes, Nettie was moving up in weight, but I thought Nettie was going to beat Figueroa because Figueroa leaves himself wide the fuck open. Figueroa leaves himself wide open. When he was hitting Nettie, I'm like, oh damn, like this kid's going hard, but he's gonna get himself got because he punches wide as fuck. And I'm like, oh shit, this kid's gonna get got. And we know that Stephen Fulton is more tactical. He has more angles, and he's just seems to be a more gathered boxer. But he doesn't have pop in his punches like Figueroa does. So that is what I'm looking forward to. I am looking forward so much to that fight. It's going to be lit. It's going to be litty. And yeah, guys, follow Miguel. Miguel, post your Twitter so people can follow you on Twitter. He is the face of boxing Twitter. And I'm so excited for that fight. I was also excited because I thought that Rais Salim was actually going to be fighting Daniel Roman. But something happened there. There hasn't really been any like actual news as to why that fight didn't happen. I could have sworn that fight was gonna happen, but for some reason, it's not. But Eduardo Baez, I guess, is a cool opponent for Ray Salim. I have a interview with him from his last fight against Victor Pasillas, and I'm gonna try to interview him again. We're our mutuals on Instagram, so I'm gonna message him and ask him if I could interview him again. So I can get an interview before this fight on September 18th. Honestly, like I was more excited for the Daniel Roman fight. Danny Roman put on an amazing performance in the undercard of Figueroa versus Luis Neri, and he looked so fucking good. And if that guy had just a little better defense and a little bit more power, he'd be fucking unstoppable in the division. But I think, he already had his chance. He was already champion. He was unified champion. I think now these guys are going to be taking over. Stephen Fulton, who already has a belt, obviously Brandon has a belt. But now it's their turn, to reign the division. I think Daniel's he's going to give them a really good fight, but I think his time has passed. And I think I'm going to interview Ray Salim. And then we have Gary Antonio Russell versus Alejandro Barrios, and it's going to be bantamweights as well. So this is like a card for the smaller dudes, right? Like it's really good fucking fight, dude. Miguel says, I got Fulton, but slept on Figueroa versus Neri. He proved us wrong. I'm going to say this shit again. I'm going to need his eyebrow lady. Figueroa has some nice ass eyebrows, and I need to know who he goes to. But yes, he put on a performance, man. His brother looked dumb as hell on that card. It was the same card, right? No, it wasn't the same card. No, it wasn't the same card. The other one was for like the Areola fight versus Andy Ruiz. But yeah, I got Fulton too because he's more gathered. He seems to be more composed in his style of fighting. But Figueroa got a punch. Like he has a chance because he has pressure and he has a pop. He had his punches. So I'm excited for that one. What are your thoughts on Pacman's fight? Let me hear, please. Versus Ugas. Well, we were there. Me and Miguel were there at the arena, and it was a nice atmosphere, right? It was a pretty good atmosphere. The first first two rounds, I believe, were really good for Pacquiao. He was fast as fuck, boy. Like he was going fast with his hands, but you could tell that he did no longer had those angles. You could tell he no longer had those like I'm gonna step in and step the fuck out real quick. He's older already. I think the 2 years of inactivity, and him being 43 fucking years old, he's not gonna have those same angles and that same footwork that he did when he was younger. Down, I'm not gonna take anything away from Ugas because I think Ugas had the really good style to beat Pacquiao, especially because I don't think Pacquiao had faced any Cubans in the past. You guys can correct me on that if he has. I don't think he had fought any other Cuban. I think Pacquiao just didn't have enough reach this time. Usually it doesn't matter, right? He'll go in and out, like I mentioned, but this time he just had like the little rabbit hands, T-Rex hands, like fucking Thurman says, right? And uh Ugas took advantage of that. Ugas on that right hand, that looping right hand, did not miss all night. That looping right hand made a fucking home on Pacquiao's face, and he had his cheek all busted. Like Pacquiao was fucked up after that Ugas fight, and it was a nice performance for Manny. It's not like Ugas just completely destroyed him. I think Ugas did win the majority of the rounds. I think Ugas did dominate in the way that he stopped Pac-Man from being able to have those angles to be able to land those flurries. Pac-Man was missing a lot. Like Broner said, he was missing. He really was against Ugas. So I'm not taking anything away from Ugas at all. But I do think that still the inactivity and being 43 fucking years old definitely had some factor in there as well. Congratulations to Ugas. It was nice to see, his accomplishments and him kind of rise to the occasion. I would have much rather had been Errol Spence, but what are we gonna do? Boxing has been like fucked up all summer. All fucking summer, boxing has been like fucking us up. Whether the Fury Wilder thing coming off, Canelo versus Plant not coming on initially, right, and then this happened, and then now Oscar Valdez. It's not summer anymore. Well, no, it's still summer until like the 22nd. So we've had like really boxing's been like not the best to us lately. Eduardo says I took a long break after the fight just to got bombed for a week straight. Just got bombed. You got wasted after that fight? Damn. What about his face though, Ugas? They were. I mean, it's a fight. It's a fight. right? Like he's gonna be hit too. They were both. Ugas had un pinche chipotón right here. He had like a fucking huge bump, right? From where because Manny had him hurt, I think, like in the fourth round, or was that when Ugas started catching him? Or was it the second? I think the second round, right? That's when Manny like kind of hurt Ugas a little bit and had him like kind of like go backwards, like wobble a little bit. Maybe it was off balance, but you know, it looked good. And he had a big ass fucking chipoton. Yes, they were both beat up. I don't know what you mean, but yeah, they were both they both did, baby. They both did. I don't know if you saw the picture of Jinky feeding feeding Pacquiao, like she was like with a spoon feeding him. It's a fight. It's a fight. Like you can't expect guys to not look fucked up. Now Oscar got the bug. Dude, I looked up the side effects from those banned substances. It's diarrhea and it says like stomach pains and all this shit. I'm like, damn, like all of that just to I I would not want to like constantly get like diarrhea and like tummy pains and shit, like just to lose weight. I don't know. I don't know. Just that's just me though. Hi Eduardo, how are you? Um, let's see. Pacman had a glove burn. Ugas was swollen. Oh, I think what you're trying to imply here is that you want me to say that Pacman was in charge and Pacman did more damage. I think that's what you're trying to get at, right? I mean, you can say that if that's you could just say that. Um, I don't think that was glove burns. Uh, That's just me though. I've seen enough fights to see that that's just what fighters look like after they've been in a grueling fight. But if you want to believe that, that's on you. That's all good. Good. Okay. All right. That's cool with me. That's cool with me. It's that was the first one that Mike Coppinger reported. That drug is to flush, to pee a lot. But then this one they said it's something similar to lose weight and then to keep flushing stuff off. I don't know. Point is, it was a banned substance and it shouldn't have been he shouldn't have had it. Like there's no room for that. I don't know, I was in the arena. I didn't like I wasn't judging round by round. I was drinking and eating. What were we eating? I was eating like noodles and shit. Um, but I could maybe like 3-4 rounds for Pacquiao at most. 4 at most is what I could give him, just like by looking at it, looking at the fight. That's fine, Eduardo. You can think that. That's fine. No one's saying otherwise, but I am. Actually, I am saying otherwise. But you're allowed to think that. I think the judges also had it kind of close, right? They had it like 115, 113, right? Which I don't think so. I think that is hella freaking close. 115, 113, that was close. That's too close in my opinion. But I mean, I'm not a judge. So, oh wow. Damn. I think you should watch that fight. I think you should watch that fight again cuz I don't I don't know what you're talking about. I don't He was blocking it with his cheek, that looping right hand. But I don't know, that's just me though. I don't know. Let's see. So the Anthony Joshua versus Usyk fight is going to have Lawrence Okoli versus Dylan Prasovic, and that's for the WBO title. We have Caleb Smith's coming back, y'all. I did not know Caleb Smith was coming back after that Canelo ass beating, and he's fighting Lenin Castillo. Isn't that the guy that Bivol beat up? Right, Lenin Castillo, or where do I know that name from? Who has Lenin Castillo fought, guys? Let me reply to this text. Let me see. Yeah, I didn't know Caleb Smith was coming back. So apparently Caleb Smith is coming back. Are y'all excited to see Caleb Smith come back? And I agree with this. It's not that he looked bad. It's not like it wasn't competitive. It was a great fight, but Manny just lost. He lost most rounds, in my opinion. Yeah, see, I knew I recognized the name somewhere. So, now he's fighting Caleb Smith, apparently. And then Campbell Haddon, which they keep pushing on us. Oh my god. We have Sergio Martinez versus Brian Rose. Fucking Sergio Martinez still fighting over here September 25th in Spain. And that's it for the month. I'm just more excited about the Fulton fight. Usyk versus Joshua. I'm excited to see it, but I already know how it's gonna end, right? Like we already know what's gonna happen. I'd be really surprised if Usyk can pull it off, but I don't think he will. That's just me though. That's on October 9th, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna try to make it out there. I'm gonna try to go for that fight. It looks like a good fight I would want to see. The undercard's also pretty good. So I'm thinking of going to this fight. My friend lives in Vegas and I don't need to pay a hotel. I could just be like, can I crash in your other room? Him and his boyfriend rent a 2-bedroom apartment and one apartment's for their dogs. But they let me stay there. So I'm gonna like be like, hey, clean up that dog room because here I come. I'm really excited for this fight. I think I just want it to be over with. No offense. I just need this to be over with. You know, if Tyson Fury beats Wilder again, then cool. Now he can move on to fight Joshua, right? And just prove that he didn't cheat, I guess. And then if Wilder wins, then it'll be like, damn, like maybe he got a point or something. And even if like a Fury beat up Wilder like that in the second fight, I had Wilder losing the first fight too. I think Fury had beat him by points on the first fight. But I think Wilder still has that power. That power hasn't gone anywhere, and I think he still has the power to be able to make it an interesting fight and still make it seem like he could win against Tyson Fury. I'm excited for the fight. I just can't wait to see it. I might go to the fight. I think Usyk brings the fight. I think he's just gonna be really, really smart about it, and I hope he is because I don't want him to get knocked out. I love Usyk. I love him so much. He's one of my favorite fighters. He dances and does the most. I love him. So I would hate to see him knock the fuck out on the floor, knocked out on the canvas. Like I wouldn't want to see that. I would be traumatized in the process. So I hope that that does not happen. Like, I don't want that to happen. Honestly, I did not watch that. I was sleeping. I forgot that that fight was like in the morning. It was like over there in like the UK, so here was like during the day, and I think I fell asleep. I was washed. I forgot why I was feeling like shit. I was feeling like shit, and I fell asleep, and I didn't see it. But I heard Conor Ben won, and but he didn't knock down Granados or drop him or stop him. Like he just won a decision. Granados is a tough opposition. Like Granados is top dude. He's not like A level. He's like B minus, but he's a good test for like the likes of Conor Ben and like the up and comers, right? He's not just gonna be like this pushover. So, I mean, Eddie Hearns versus Eddie Hearns. At the O2, Eddie Hearns. Eddie Hearns. Hey, I was feeling like shit. I don't know. I don't know why. I was feeling like shit. And I took a nap. I think, I had like a really big breakfast. I had a really big breakfast that Saturday. And I took a nap and I woke up and like the main event was starting. So I did watch the main event, which was stupid because Lara versus Warrington 2, like he got a cut and they just kind of, that was that, right? Like he got a cut and that was that. So like there's not gonna be much going on there, but it did make me sad because I'm pretty sure like most people were there to see the fight. Lara beat Warrington's ass the first time. I'm pretty sure Warrington was trying to get revenge, right? Warrington wanted revenge for for his UK pride and the Mexican fighters beating them. But that headbutt kind of ruined everything. I see some people complaining, saying that he was doing it on purpose, that he was headbutting and stuff. I don't know. I didn't pay that much attention, but yeah. What up? Hello, how are you? How are you? How are you? But yeah, it's hello. Oh, hi. Thank you, Brandon. Love you. But yes, we've already been here for an hour and 18 minutes. I wanted to ask this on the live too. Does 6 p.m. work better for you guys or 5:30? Because I noticed that like people get the most questions in like at the end of the lives, which is like over an hour already. So maybe I need to do it a little bit later. I know there's going to be football going on now. So should I switch to Tuesdays? What day would be best? I don't know. I wanted to do Mondays, but I know that there's like football and other sports going on. So do let me know, follow me on my social media and then let me know 6 p.m. Okay, yeah. Like I was thinking that because I go live at 5:30, but like I always get the most interaction, like an hour in or something like that, or like half an hour to an hour in. So I do want to make it what's best for y'all. Um, and again, like keep me updated on sports because I know a lot of you watch football, right? Football's coming back. Foosball is the devil. No, but yes, I know it's coming back. So let me know if I should do Tuesday instead. Like, or is there some on Friday? I could do Friday too. I don't know. Just let me know what's best. I'm free every day after 5 because it's when I get off of work and I'm working from home and my kids do their boxing and it ends at 5. So I always do it like at 5:30 and shit. So 6:30, 6:30 Tuesday. Yeah, we can do like I'm trying to get like a better software to where like we do more of a little show where we show clips and stuff and it's more like there's more direction on the actual live and then I can go to answer questions. Does that make sense? Like kind of a little segment where I'm like, okay, this is week, this and this happened. And then I go over the comments of what you guys think about those things instead of like just replying to you guys as I go. I think just kind of lay like a recap of the week. Like this happened Monday, this happened this day, this happened this day, this happened this day, and now let's go to the comments and see what y'all think about all that shit. And I think that would be kind of like how I would go about it. And we could do that on Tuesdays, since I know that Mondays there's like uh a lot of football, right? Sundays too. And I'm thinking of going live on Saturdays when there's fights, like as a viewing together type. I'm not gonna stream the fights. I don't want to get my channel taken down. We could do like a watch together type of live, and then go into the post fight press conference because that I can stream. I can stream the press conference, so we can do that side by side. Have the press conference with us kind of commentating on it, and then go into the comments. I was thinking, Sunday and Monday, but I know again football's coming up. I don't know how football works. I don't know the schedule. I don't share about football. So if Tuesday works better, then Tuesday, works. Hi LJ, how are you? Uh why does Andre birthday? Dude, that shit cracked me up. When I saw it, all I thought was like maybe he's teaching him his low blows. Like, I don't know. I think it's interesting though. I think it's quite interesting to see how how much that other fighters want to intervene and make sure that Canelo loses, right? A lot of people want to see Canelo lose. And Andre Ward, I think Andre Ward. Hi Chris, hi Chris, hi Chris. I think Andre Ward does this because of the conversation that there is around Andre Ward, him coming out of retirement to fight Canelo, right? There's all these every time they bring a who can be Canelo, who can be Canelo. Somebody always mentions Andre Ward, and somebody says if Andre Ward came out of retirement, he would fuck up Canelo, right? Like there's all these like people saying stuff like this. So I think Andre Ward knows that his name is still, even though he's retired, it gets thrown around in the conversation with Canelo. That I think if he feels that if he inserts himself into the fight some way, by example, going to the Caleb Plant camp and giving him pointers or whatever, then by association, he can take some of those props for, let's say, if Canelo loses to Caleb Plant, right? So if Caleb Plant can beat Canelo after, Andre Ward visits his camp, then he can reap some of those props, right? He can take some responsibility for that, right? And I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is, but I do think it's a bit corny. I mean, anybody could do whatever he wants. Andre Ward can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can go help him, and it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't cause for a lot of like discussion, but it does because Canelo. I mean, Andre Ward has had negative comments to say about Canelo too. So then it seems like now it's fueled by his dislike for Canelo. So it's not much that he wants Caleb Plant to win, as much as it is that maybe he just wants that he wants Canelo to lose, right? Like I think that's what it is, honestly. Uh it's jealousy. Well, I don't know if I would call it jealousy because, Andre Ward is an Olympian and he made his own, reign. He was undefeated and shit. I get it. But teaching him the snuggle, no, the low blows. No, I mean, you never know if he can make 168, but maybe he'll try to take him on one. You're right though, because he retired at 175. But for a payday, Payday. Everybody wants payday, and that would be, I think a lot of people would want that because they want to see Canelo lose, and a lot of people truly do believe that Andre Ward can beat Canelo. So, you know, people think Andre Ward's bigger than Mayweather, or they can. I don't know. I never heard that. I never heard that. Oh my god, the chat is not pro Ward here. Oh my god. We have a see, Ward is the winner. Don't hate, boring wins fights. Yeah, boring wins fights. I wouldn't call him boring, but he was just not like, the most exciting, but I think it's just, yeah, he wants to have that association with Plant. Should Plant beat Canelo so that he can take some props for that, right? I think that's what it is. And he's been known to say bad things about Canelo. So, like I mentioned, I feel like he just wants Canelo to lose. So it's not as much as he wants Caleb Plant to win, or he's rooting for Caleb Plant. I think he's just not trying to have Canelo win. Let me see. I skipped the comment. Do you know if Benavidez is on the Canelo versus Drake 2.0? Huh? I'm confusion. Word is just tactical. Dang, you guys, it's a very let's see. I'm pro Ward. Ward beats Canelo. Oof. He's teaching Plant the low blow tactics for sure. Rigo, oh, I can't keep defending Rigo, man. I loved Rigo, but after the last one, I'm like, man, I can't defend you anymore, Rigo. Can't defend you anymore, Rigo. Are you expecting, honestly, a little bit, because Fury just had a baby, right? And I feel like it might fall off again. But then it would bring on another, another court hearing and shit. I don't know. I just want them to get over with it and move on and let the rest of the division be able to move on, because until that fight happens, they can't do anything. So I don't know. Fucking Fury might just come out and be like, I'm retired. Never mind. Like, I don't know. Dang, you guys have really. You guys are not. He beat Kovalev. No, he did not. I I will no. I will say that shit till the day I die. Kovalev beat him. Kovalev is a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong. Fuck him. But he did beat Ward the first fight, and I will say that shit till I die. And if anybody doesn't like it, die first. Let's see. Ward got a bad knee. It would be another. Yeah, I wouldn't see. I personally wouldn't ask for that fight. If it happens, cool. But I personally wouldn't. I don't think what that would prove. Like Canelo fighting him, he just get more criticism. Just like with Triple G, like a lot of people want that third Triple G fight, and it's like, why? Like Triple G's older already. People are gonna say that, oh, Canelo beat up an old Triple G, and especially if by then the third one Canelo beats more decisively and even hurts Triple G, which I don't think he would, because Triple G has a fucking crazy ass chin. So I don't think he would be like, he would knock out Triple G, maybe to the body, but I don't think so. And people would just be like, whoa, Triple G's old. Triple G, Canelo waited till Triple G went ancient on us. Like, that's what people are gonna say. Like, well, Triple G's an ancient fossil now, so that's why. Like, so what? For what? What does that prove? It's just gonna like be more people talking shit. Even if Ward won, it would be an edge with handle punches, round kicks, even out. My top three, I don't really watch YouTube channels to like that, but Fight Hype, I like Fight Hype because they have like all of the stuff after the fights, right? And they have the most access. Though, oh my god, I wish they would invest on a fucking microphone. I like Fight Hype because they have access to everything, and I fuck with Ben, and Sean does a great job with his interviews. I just want them to have a fucking microphone, even the ones you attach to the phones, because most of the interviews, it's loud as fuck and you can barely hear the fighters. Like, you hear all the background noise. I have this tiny ass microphone. Let me show you, that you can put on both cameras and the phone. This is a microphone, and you can hook it up to like right here. Let me take this off. You can put it on like right here, and you talk, or you can just hold it in their face. You can be recording them like this, right? Like asking them questions and recording with your phone, because it's wireless. And it's like, why do you guys not put on a freaking microphone? I just want to know what they're saying. Like, so I like Fight Hype. I can't think about it off the top of my head, but that's usually what I do. And I usually just watch like whatever the algorithm shows me. Just Love Award. Yes, it was supposed to happen on July 24th, but because what's his name? Fury got COVID, they rescheduled it to October 9th. All Rigo gotta do is throw a few more punches and he still move. Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like he could just, if he was just a little bit more on the offensive side, it would be cool if he was still, using those tactics to be super like hard to hit. That's fine, but he doesn't throw any punches. Haney, Ryan, and Tank been ducking Loma. That's a big conversation to go into. I just feel like they should all fight each other. Loma's already like older already. I wish the Haney, Ryan, Tanks, and Teofimos of the world would fight each other, but instead you just see them fighting on Twitter, which I'm fucking tired of. Like, can you guys please actually fight instead of just talking shit to each other? Like, I'm sick of that. Like, it's so annoying. Let's see. Whoop. Benavidez would be nice undercard of the Canelo Plan event. But he's already fighting. He's fighting in November because he got COVID too. Remember? Canelo KO'd Crusher. Yes, he did. It was a pretty boring fight up until the knockout. Hi Arturo, thanks for the super chat. I'm gonna be posting when I'm going live. I suck at posting when I'm going live, but it's because I'm trying to find the schedule because I want to do Mondays at 6, but then there's football, so I might just do Tuesdays at 6 instead because I know a lot of people watch football, and I'm not trying to like distract people from their other sports that they love. But I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. You guys know I do this for fun, but super chats are always appreciated. Paul versus Woodley was a draw. See, I don't think it was a draw. I don't know how. Well, how do you score it? I don't know how to score it. If you score it like a regular fight, I think Jake Paul won, but he did get rocked, right? Like he got rocked. He got rocked. He almost got cooked. Like oh my god. I'm not the only one. I can never hear shit what they're saying. So I'm like, please, sometimes I want to just be like, please get like a little microphone attachment to your phone. Like it'll work wonders. Also, sometimes like the wind is like, especially if you're outside, there's a lot of wind and it interferes with the sound. Like if you have a little microphone, that'll be okay. My name is Gotcha. Don't forget, it's probably 10 in the right round. That was the first fight was close. He did? I honestly don't even remember. Hello. I don't know what that means. Explain it to me. But yes, happy that. No, he didn't. I'm not gonna go. That I don't agree with that. I feel like it was stupid as fuck of Lomachenko to ask to be franchised, and I think he wanted to be franchised because he felt like he was on that level with Canelo, right? When Canelo went to be the franchise, champion for the WBC, and they described it as somebody who goes up and down weight classes, and they're the franchise. And I think Loma said, "Well, I go up and down weight classes too. Like, why can't I be franchised?" And I think that was stupid. Like the whole franchise shit is stupid. The WBC making all these stupid ass fucking belts just to sanction them and to be in anybody's fucking business, basically. I think it's dumb that Loma and his team requested to be franchised, but I think it was just because they wanted to have that same level of Canelo. They wanted to be in the same stature, the same level of franchise, right? They felt like they fit the description. I don't think they did that because, oh, it's Haney. Like, I like Haney. I like Haney a lot. I think he's special. He's chinny though. We saw that he's chinny. He's got to improve on his defense, but I think he's good. But I don't think Loma. I don't. I don't think Loma is scared of him. So football's every day, but what Wednesday? But Wednesday. So it's every day except Wednesday. So we could do like a midweek show, kinda. And Saturday due to college football. Okay. And is that at night or in the morning? But Saturday, like I said, we can go live for like the fights. We can have like a fight watching party where we all like just talk about the fight as it's going on. Um, 10,000 giveaway. I'm not doing a giveaway. I mean, unless I don't know. I don't even know how many followers I have. I think I only have like 7,000. Once I reach 10,000, then I will do a giveaway. I want to give away a pin. I think I showed you guys a pin last time. It was a Chino Maidan. I think it's in here. Hold on. Actually, I don't know where it's at, but I have a Chino Maidana pin when he's knocking down Broner, and I'll give that away when I reach 10K. Tell your friends, say there's this bitch on YouTube who talks boxing. Let's go. Uh, all day, weekend, evening, during the week, every day. Football's every day. Oh my god, I don't watch football. I didn't know that. For what rematch? What rematch are you talking about? But no, I didn't know football was every day. Holy shit. Well, baseball's also every day, so yeah. If Oscar wins in spectacular fashion, he still has to prove himself now. Tank would be perfect, but Tank will destroy. At this point, I don't want to sound like Bradley, but at this point, I would love for Tank and Oscar to fight. But, Mayweather said that Tank was only going to fight people in his stable and like in his own promotional company and their own little bubble over there. So I don't like that. Like they said that he was just gonna only fight in-house fighters, and that pissed me off. But that's usually what they do anyway. So you guys want me to give away my Xbox? No, I play on there. I play Halo. You can give it away though if you want. Yeah, I don't know what rematch you're talking about. Football's crap. I don't know football. No football on Tuesdays and most Wednesdays. Okay, so should I Tuesday or Wednesday? Tell me, guys. Tell me what should I do? Tuesday or Wednesday? Y'all are rude. Yeah, that was out of pocket for Charlo. I don't know. They have like I feel like they have like anger management issues. They need to work on that. Because in what scenario would that be justified, Tank is fighting Roll in December. I hope so, because they always say they're fighting each other. One's fighting one, the other one's fighting the other. I don't know. I just want to see it. Whatever happens, happens. What's the next fight I'm going to? Probably the Wilder one, and then I want to go to the Canelo one too. Tuesday. Okay, so we'll do Tuesdays at 6:30. We'll see. Miguel, you don't gotta. Miguel, I still owe you a dinner. Drinking water. Hey, it's Monday. I have to wake up early tomorrow. I'm washed and I am old, so I need to stay hydrated because I have work tomorrow. But thank you for the super chat, Miguel. I still owe you a fancy dinner. Let's see. Regular season NFL Wednesday and Saturday. Okay. So Wednesday and Saturday off. Okay. So now I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking doing Saturdays during the fights, like for the fights coming up. I might go live this Saturday. Like we could do a live on Saturday for the fight. Maybe also on Friday for the Valdez fight. And we'll see. But definitely Wednesday or Tuesday. Wednesday. I'm home Wednesday, so Wednesday should work. I'm always home. Let's see. Fun fact: I came up in the. Oh, you did. Tell us stories. What are you waiting for? Tell us stories right now. Corona. I know Miguel sent me some for a ballena. Miguel sent me for a 40 ounce. Corona for me. A Modelo because I'm gonna buy a Modelo. The Modelo tall cans are $3, so those $5 are gonna help Miguel for me to get a tall can. So on Saturday, Friday, I'm gonna be watching the fight with Modelo in hand, and that one's gonna go out to Kayla Plant. Fine, Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday settled. I'm going to tweet it out. Tuesday, 6 p.m. Okay, and then I'll have like a little weekly recap. Like we'll go not weekly recap, like just what happened over the weekend, and then we're gonna go into the comments, and then that way it's not like back and forth. It'll be like just a quick. Here's Here's what happened on fight night. Let's talk about it. Bam, bam, bam. All right, now I'm gonna go to the comments and see what y'all got to talk about. Yes, right? Feels like a good idea. I'm finally into the rhythm of like working and all that, working from home. Like my schedule's finally like developed. So now I'm like, okay, now I can pick a date, but I want you guys to choose because I was gonna do Mondays, and then people are like, no football. There's football, and I'm like, oh fuck, I don't know shit about football, but okay. In case of Caguamas familiares, what? I need a Sam's. I need a Sam's clubhouse card. I need to go to Sam's. There's just not one around me. I don't have any like big things around me. But okay, guys, we've been here for an hour and 40 minutes already. I appreciate your time. We're probably gonna do like 1-2 hours from now on Tuesdays, and then I'm gonna go live this Friday for the fight. So don't forget, this Friday I'm going to be going live for the Valdez fight, and we're just gonna be talking about it, and then we could do like a post fight kind of discussion as well. So just let me know what works out best for you guys too, what suggestions you may have. My Twitter's down here so you can follow it. I'm gonna be changing the username within the week just because I have a job that I'm gonna have to be working through my Twitter with, and I can't have that username. I don't think they'll like it if I have Lily Ho Saunders on there. So I'm thinking of you know, I'm thinking of doing people can't play boxing but Pacman can. I'm watching football Astros on big screen watching you. Aw, thank you, Tony. And the Astros are playing. You know what? I love you, Tony, but fuck the Astros. As a Dodger fan, fuck y'all. Fuck Altuve. But I appreciate you regardless. I appreciate you a lot, okay? Uh, Everybody take it easy. Thank you for being here and talking to me because I have nothing to do these days. Quarantine, right? It's been a long quarantine. I actually started doing lives when quarantine started. So here I am a whole year and a half later, still doing lives. I'm gonna try to get that interview with Rais Salim. I'm gonna message him a little bit later on and talk to him about it. And then I'll bring you guys that interview. Maybe I'll have him on live with us too. Which I don't know. Sometimes you guys get out of pocket. I don't think I trust like a boxer being live because you guys might say some shit. Like I don't you guys say like the most out of pocket shit and I don't know if I trust y'all sometimes. Y'all say mean things about boxers. Why would you say mean things about Ray Salim? I don't know, but I will message him and ask him if he has time for an interview so that we can get that going, okay? You guys have a good night and take it easy. Tell your friends about me and follow me on twitter.com. Like this video and obviously you guys have subscribed because you're here. But don't forget to like this video and just comment a little emoji or something just so it gets a little bit more whatever the fuck. Don't trust them. Yeah, y'all will say some out of pocket shit. You were shit. Imagine if I brought Benavidez on. You'll be talking shit about Benavidez on here. Shit. But thank you, Miguel, for being moderator. I didn't even remember. I forgot that you had been moderator this whole time. Thank you, and I'll WhatsApp you, Miguel.